Rocket choppers are taking over season 42. Let's go, Sky Sheep. Shout out to P. Minstrel for that one. They are without a doubt taking over because we were able to hit rank 18 with my Skull Crusher account. And you know what? We haven't even done a single num this season. We're in day 4 of season 42. So much fun. Rank 18. Compliments of the Sky Sheep, aka the Rocket Choppers and Skull Army and friends. We're gonna give you the first num of the season. This one's for you, my friends. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Let's do this. Why isn't this hat coming off? Oh, we tried. Hat is literally secured on tight. Nonetheless, a little bit dizzy. Where's the glasses? There they are. One piece. And just like that, we did it. All right, let's do this, Skull Army. Good morning, good afternoon, and yes, good evening, Skull Army and friends. It's your boy, your friendly and neighborhood Skull Crusher, coming right back at you with another Boom Beach video. In today's video, Thursday, January the 5th, 2023, rank 18 with Skull Crusher account, Warship season 42, so much fun, and the Rocket Choppers, without a doubt, taking over this season. If you are 4ER, without a doubt, my friends, you probably have experienced a Rocket Chopper hit. I mean, some of these guys are just ridiculously fast. Where is it? Right there. You're pulling a 257 and you're like, I got this. 3 minutes. Literally, the RC has brought it down to a minute or faster. If you are playing already mid-rank 17 going into 18, most likely probably even prior to that as well, and you're matching fellow Rocket Chopper players, meaning if you do match a player with rocket launchers, a red light should go off in your head that there is a potential that they do have Rocket Choppers. If you match a player that doesn't have rocket launchers, well then take a sigh of relief, they don't have Rocket Choppers. But that is definitely something to think about when matching players. Look out for those rocket launchers. It is an indication that it is going to be a Rocket Chopper player, or most likely it will be. So without a doubt, some of these players have been ridiculously fast here, and like we're pulling some pretty good times too here. 4 losses in my log. I want to give a shout out to all these players right here. A Song 90 there, look at that, 257 to 3 minutes. Racer Boy, pretty sure I've lost you twice in the last 2 days here. Can we please just give a massive shout out to Racer Boy, a GG buddy. Of course, this guy had boom cannons here, Leader Q8. Watch out for this guy, 3 minutes and 1 second. Some of these players are just next level stupid. And Leader _ Q8 absolutely dominated, guys. Boom cannon player. And of course, Diago here. Yeah, we couldn't even keep up with this madness. We literally fizzled. It was pretty bad here. So none the less here, guys. Before we do go back in, and that's right, we are global. Before we do go in and show some of the replays here, please do not forget to leave a like on today's video. It does mean the absolute world to me. It does help the channel grow. And yes, of course, it does appease our YouTube algorithm overlords. We're gonna dive on to the tech tree for just a quick moment here, my friends. I want to talk about why this is working right now, and honestly, without a doubt, once you do go 4ER, Sky Shield is honestly, it's a great addition to the defensive layout. Of course, you know, it is supposed to, you know, slow down your opponent. Rocket Choppers already with 50% troop damage are literally just steamrolling and plowing through everything, so it's almost like the Sky Shield really doesn't even make that much of a difference. Of course, it's still a little bit of a nuisance due to the fact that you won't be able to directly flare that engine room, but we're going to show you some of the replays that we've been doing. You know, there's no need to BART out the, you know, the Sky Shield for the most part. Rocket Choppers are just incredibly fast on the attack here. So of course, you know, rocket launchers, that is the ticket to the Rocket Chopper there, which is why if you do run into rocket launcher players, realize that the Rocket Choppers are the following node. So most likely that player does have Rocket Choppers. That's just how I've been looking at it when I was pushing earlier today with Skull Crusher. It's like if I matched a rocket launcher player, I'm like, they got the choppers. All right, we got to focus. We got to take this seriously. Of course, if I wasn't matching rocket launcher bases, honestly, and I knew that I had the rocket choppers, I was like, no problem. And for the most part, I was right. It was no problem. So yeah, and then of course rocket choppers, you want to max those bad boys. And of course I have pretty much been relying on brick and a combination of either battle orders or cluster grenade, honestly, depending on the layout. I think for the most part I have actually been going with the cluster grenade for the most part of, you know, dealing significant damage to the engine rooms, plus also taking out mines. And when you can take out shock mines with cluster grenade, that is an absolute blessing. And then of course the heavies have still been playing a key role here, especially after 3 engine room, when the heavy rush was just absolutely dominating. 1 boat, sometimes even 2 boats of heavies, depending on the layout, will be a good ticket for the rocket choppers due to the fact that you've got a 1 buffer meat shield here. Normally it's dropping the heavies and then brick, waiting a few seconds to create that delay, and then dropping your choppers due to the fact that if you dropped your heavies and your rocket choppers at the same time, well, guess what? Choppers are a lot faster. They're going to get to those defenses first and most likely take damage, or even worse, you'll lose one even before you take out the first engine room. So yeah, and then of course another ticket here has been the artillery. I mean, I've been flirting and playing around with arting out an engine room. I think with max level artillery for a an engine room at 4 ER, I believe it is I want to say 7 or 8. Nonetheless, here, it's too much, especially without having that additional GBE node. And that additional GBE node, believe it or not, is the dead end node after the rocket launcher in 4 engine room. But I'm not sure if I'm going to go back for that. I'll probably end up getting the building damage next, just so I can continue towards the critter launchers and then pretty much keep making my way over to the 5 engine room. Of course, smoke is going to be incredible. That's a good use for, you know, rocket choppers and, of course, seekers as well. Oh my god, they're so close. They're so close, and they're right there, especially before 5 engine rooms. So yeah, I'm steamrolling at seekers right now, just like a majority of players probably are if they're not already using seekers at this moment. So yeah, definitely some stuff to think about here. Already running into the boom cannon players as well, which is pretty crazy. Boom cannons are all the way at the top here. Yeah, so nonetheless here, guys, let's start things off here against bits here. This was 255 to 248. So most of my attacks here, you can see there's brick and the 1 boat of heavies coming out on the far left side of the ramp there. And then of course, since there was no immediate threats there, we did decide to drop the choppers right away there. A little bit of a buffer zone before we got to that first cannon. So on this one, I'm flirting with the idea of using the artillery on the engine room here. And since choppers are pretty much taking out everything, you are farming a fair amount of gunboat energy. But even if you can just deal, you know, a decent amount of damage with that artillery and then I guess finish it off with the choppers, I think that's actually what I'm doing here. So I think I actually realized that it was just too much gunboat energy trying to use artillery to take out an ER. Rocket choppers are so fast that honestly, it'll be much more beneficial just to literally use them to take out all 4 and just managing your gunboat energy by shocking, you know, defenses, or, you know, using Brick's cluster grenade to hopefully clear mines, you know, whatever it may be. But yeah, you know what, on the last engine room, of course, you're going to Hail Mary any leftover gunboat energy that is artillery. So let's give a shout out to Mr. Pink here. This was a great time on my end here, 307 to 254. I'm wondering if this was a 3 ER. No, that's right. This was a bloody fast hit against a 4 here. So notice the 1 boat of heavies coming out on the left side and the right side of the ramp there. A little bit of a delay drop there. Then we do follow up with 2 rocket choppers on that far left side, and then of course 4 rocket choppers and brick on that far right side here. And this was just a matter of just getting the split drop to take out those 2 up front engine rooms, and then following up with direct aggressive Hail Marys on that mid right engine room, and then following up with the final Hail Mary at the top left engine room. Additional leftover gunboat energy for artillery, and again, that was incredibly fast. This is what the rocket choppers are doing. 53 seconds for that win right there. That is absolutely insane here. And then we've got Alexander here. I got 251, and I was like, no way. But of course, I don't know how we won that. Again, I don't think Alexander had rocket choppers. But yeah, 251 to 245 here. So another one of these layouts here. You can see we got brick and that heavy coming out. You know, waiting a couple seconds here, getting that delay drop, and then following up with our rocket choppers here. And then once they get to the flare point there, we start managing our gunboat energy, cycling a shock, pinning down the cannon and the machine gun. Once we follow up with that, we get another flare to keep it super tight along the left side there. And then it's just a matter of managing the push here. So you can see we got that 1 cannon at the right side of your screen there. Unfortunately, that cannon actually got lucky and took out the 1 chopper there, but then we just got aggressive here. Didn't even care about that 1 cannon. Probably should have cared about that cannon. We did get enough gunboat energy to shock it at the end there, but just a very aggressive Hail Mary. Well, we did lose a couple choppers along the way there. And then of course, after Alexander here, we got Commandor. This was 247 to 240. Again, if you're seeing times of 240, more than likely is not a rocket chopper player. I don't think this player did have rocket launchers. No, so already no rocket launchers, you know, a sigh of relief knowing that, okay, not choppers, but they got the snipers, they got a whole bunch of stuff here, but notice how this time we're actually approaching from the right side. We've got that one boat of heavies and brick coming out with about a 3 to 4 second delay drop, following up with heavy choppers. We then we then follow up with a shock there, pinning down the 2 cannons there to giving the heavies enough times to get up front. Once we take out the engine room and the cannons in range of the rocket choppers, we follow up reflare. This is where brick and that cluster grenade is really going to come in handy here. A follow-up reflare. We got some artillery coming out on that second last engine room, letting the choppers just do their thing. I think this was just free clearing, getting gunboat energy for artillery to deal some damage there. Look at that follow-up. Boom! Goes the dynamite. Absolutely savage. And then as we do continue past commander there, we've got Sturgeon 9,942 here. This was 249 to 232. Again, 232. That is not a rocket chopper time, but even I'm pulling 249 with RCs, so that's still a little bit rocky, but we're still able to get the win here. So big shout out to Sturgeon 9,942. This one did have the rocket launcher, so definitely made me a little bit nervous here, but look at this one. You're going to start running into a lot of these layouts here. Again, that was the one boat of heavies and brick, keeping it super tight with a flare along the left side. We got a little sloppy there. We actually lost a rocket chopper to a cannon. You definitely don't want to be losing a rocket chopper before you take out that first engine room, but sometimes it is going to happen. This is what I'm talking about managing the hit here. No artillery coming out. Actually, there is artillery coming out, but it's coming out on the cannon there. Why? Because cannons, without a doubt, are going to be the biggest threat right now to your rocket choppers. That's a lie. Boom cannons as well, but a majority of you actually will not be running into boom cannon players, but they are out there. I just want to forewarn you there. So actually using artillery on cannons while you are using your rocket choppers actually is not a bad idea at all. After Sturgeon 9,942, we've got Yojinbo 07 here, and this was the boss fight to rank 18. I was so excited. It was actually working at this time here, and I remember telling my general manager, I was like, Dave, I'm running to the back, boss fight coming up, and he was like, yeah man, go get it. So shout out to Dave from my work, my GM, you rock buddy, 302 to 253. So again, starting to see these layouts where you've got pretty much the 2 ERs almost up front on the left side and right side, and this comes down to just kind of managing a delay drop here. So this is where we're actually using artillery to take out the sky shield. So I'm actually contradicting myself, but if you do have max level artillery, it is 5 art to take out a sky shield in 4 engine room here. And then look at that, we actually got a little sloppy there. We had a preemie, but this was just aggressively flaring now. Shocks is such a lifesaver as well. Keep in mind we've got smokes coming up, but just aggressively flaring the last 2 engine rooms. This is kind of very similar to the first layout we matched. And just like that, a successful push into rank 18. Compliments of the rocket choppers, aka the sky sheep. Again, massive shout out to Pete Minstrel. Why are they sky sheep? Well, they're the sheep of the sky. And what do you do with sheep? You herd them. They are the sky sheep, and of course you have to keep your rocket choppers together. Keep that in mind. If you do let a lone rocket chopper wander off, a good chance, you know, a lone sniper will deal some significant damage to that. But if you let, you know, the herd of the sky sheep, you know, work together, you know, they come across those snipers, they're attacking in unison together, working as a herd, those snipers aren't going to do any threats at all. It's pretty much the cannons that you have to worry about. Always keep the cannons in the back of your mind. And of course, as you do run into the boom cannon bases, boom cannons are going to be an even bigger threat because of course they've got a longer range than those cannons, so they'll kind of sneak up on your rocket choppers there. And of course, you know, critter launchers are really nothing to worry about because why? They will not affect your rocket chopper. So all right, Skull Army and friends, day 4 of the season. Wanted to give you an update with the main account before we do follow up with the next stream, which I am planning to do tomorrow. Get back into a power hour, or at least showcase something before my work day does start. So Skull Army and friends, rank 18, let's go. I wish you the best of luck on your next push. And of course, let's go take a quick look at that leaderboard there. A lot of players absolutely killing it here. Derek's Cabin, big shout out to Pete Minstrel, absolute next level there. General Electric, Pete Minstrel's other account, just dominating there. Coach Chicken, oh my Lanta, I got some work to do there. Even Zedmon in rank 18 there, but there we are, guys, not too far. And of course, after editing, I will continue a push with Skull Crusher as well here. And I think we are bottom of the barrel when it does come to global here. Let's just take a look. 18.8. Yeah, baby, bottom of the barrel. Let's go. After I'm done editing, we will not be 498, but you know what? I will have a chest ready in about 1 hour, 27 minutes, and my next unlock moving forward is going to be that building damage, and then we're going to make our way to the critter launchers because, of course, that just gets us on path to smoke, 2 seekers, not to mention 5 engine rooms. So definitely let me know what you think. Leave me a comment of your thoughts of the rocket chopper, aka the sky sheep, or even how your push or how your thoughts of the season are going. going. With that being said, Skull Army and friends, we will officially be wrapping up today's video. Now, I think it's time to make like a Tom and cruise. We'll catch you on the next stream. Peace!